Hello everyone, in this video I'm gonna talk about the law of understanding. Why is it better to understand than to be understood? There is a quiet law that governs the deep flow of human relationships, a law not written in books or declared in courts, but one etched in the spirit of everlasting connection and every enduring peace. It is the law of understanding, the principle that teaches us that it is better to understand than to be understood. This law does not clamor for attention, it works in silence, like the roots of an old tree that never demand applause, yet hold the weight of the forest canopy above. To understand, truly understand, is to offer the world a gift it cannot give itself. In choosing to understand, we unlock something sacred in others and paradoxically in ourselves. The illusion of being understood. Most of us spend our lives hoping, sometimes even demanding to be understood. We want our pain recognized, our ideas validated, our intentions seen for their purity. If only they could understand me, we whisper in moments of frustration, as if being understood is the balm that will smooth over our wounds. And to be fair, to be understood is a beautiful experience. It creates a feeling of safety and belonging. When someone really sees us past our walls, past our masks, it is like sunlight breaking through clouds after weeks of gray. But this moment, however warm, is still fleeting. Why? Because being understood relies on another person's willingness, perception, and timing. It places the power outside of us. We become, in a way, beggars of emotional arms, waiting for someone else to see what we ourselves have not yet fully explored. The desire to be understood is a reflection of our vulnerability. It becomes a trap when it becomes a demand. When our peace hinges on being seen, we begin to resent those who cannot see us, and worse, we may close ourselves off to those we fail to understand in return. The inner power of understanding. Understanding, on the other hand, is a choice we can make at any moment. It does not depend on the other person's behavior or clarity. It is not earned, it is offered. To understand is to step outside of the prison of self and walk into another's inner world. It is to pause the question, why are they doing this to me? And instead ask what might have shaped them to be this way. Understanding is not excusing, it is not agreeing, it is seeing. It is easy to judge a person who acts out in anger, but what if we understood the years of fear that taught them that rage was their only shield? It is easy to withdraw from a friend who seemed distant, but what if we understood the quiet despair that stoned their ability to connect? When we understand someone, we do not make them perfect. We simply place ourselves in the position to love them, to respond rather than react, and to choose the higher road when all else tempts us to retaliate. The bamboo and the oak A metaphor in nature. Nature, as always, offers its own gentle instruction. In the forest, there are two kinds of trees that respond very differently to the storm: the mighty oak and the bamboo. The mighty oak is strong and proud, rooted deeply in the earth, confident in its might. But when the hurricane comes, the oak resists with all its strength. It refuses to bend, convinced that rigidity is strength. Eventually, it breaks. The bamboo, by contrast, does not resist. It bows, it bends, it flows with the wind. It does not panic because it knows that the storm will pass. Its strength lies not in resistance, but in understanding of nature of the storms. To be understood is like being an oak. We demand that others recognize our unbending truth, our exact experience. But to understand, to be like the bamboo, is to flow with the storm of another's emotion, not because they are weak, but because we are wise. And when the storm passes, it is the bamboo that still stands. Why understanding heals? Understanding heals because it removes judgment. When we understand, we no longer need to win. We no longer need to dominate the conversation or prove our pain. We recognize that everyone is walking through the fire of their own story, even if their flames do not look like ours. Understanding say, I will hold space for your journey, even if it is not mine. I will choose compassion over critique. There is no greater gift to a marriage, a friendship, or even a casual encounter than the decision to understand. Imagine the world in which parents choose to understand their children instead of controlling them, or where leaders understood their people instead of managing them through fear. Imagine lovers who, instead of trying to fix each other, choose to truly see each other. Understanding is the soul's language. It transcends cultural divides, tempers generational trauma, and softens the sharp edges of personal conflict. It does not erase pain, but it makes pain bearable. The garden within, cultivating the soil of understanding. Like any virtue, understanding must be cultivated. It does not bloom in the hardened soil of ego. It needs humility, patience, and presence. Imagine the heart as a garden. If we plant only seed of I must be seen, I must be heard, I must be validated, we may grow a beautiful flowers of self-worth, but they will wither when no one waters them. When we plant the seeds of curiosity, why does she act this way? What pain might he or she be carrying? What would I have done in their place? We grow a deeper, more resilient beauty, the flower of empathy, compassion, and peace. Understanding is like the gardener who kneels in the dirt not to conquer it, but to nurture it. The gardener does not demand that the flower bloom faster. She tends, she waits, she trusts that with care, everything will reveal itself in time. So too with people. When you are not understood. But what of the moments when you are not understood? When your silence is taken as indifference, your kindness mistaken for weakness, and your complexity dismissed. Here again, the law of understanding invites the radical response. Instead of hardening, we soften. Instead of closing, we open. We remember that not everyone is capable of understanding, not yet. We offer them what they cannot offer us, and that is where our freedom begins. Because the moment you release the demand to be understood, you become free from the tyranny of expectation. You no longer wait for others to validate your worth. You stand like the bamboo, rooted in quiet wisdom, unshaken by misunderstanding, unbroken by storms. A legacy of understanding. Each of us will leave behind a trail of moments, words say, silent kept, forgiveness offered, or withheld. Let us be remembered not for how loudly we cry to be understood, but for how deeply we try to understand. Let it be said of us, she listened when no one else would. He gave others the benefit of the doubt. They make room for other people's stories. Understanding is a form of love that needs no applause. It is invisible in its working, but invincible in its result. It builds bridges where others see chasm. It heals wounds that medicine cannot touch. It reconciles that reason alone cannot. In the end, it transforms us not into people who are always right, but into people who are always real. Closing thought. The river beneath the river. Is a river beneath every river, a silent current that shapes the surface flow. In the same way, beneath every word a person speaks, there is a deeper truth. Beneath every action, there is a hidden story. Beneath every outburst, a buried grief. To understand is to dive beneath the surface and to swim in that hidden current. It is to say, I see more than your behavior. I sense the river beneath. And when you live this way, when you choose to understand rather to be understood, you do not love yourself. You find the deeper self, the self that is strong like bamboo, soft like soil, and wide like the river that flows without demanding to be seen. That is the quiet power of the law of understanding. And in this law, there is peace. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Please help me to subscribe to my channel and click like. Thank you.